Hey blog buddies, how you doing? Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm wearing my green singlet in honour of the day, and I hope wherever you are you're having a great celebration or getting ready for a great celebration. Today's Talkie Blog is to answer a question that I was asked a while ago on Formspring, and I know it's taken me a while to answer it and I apologise, but here I am. The question was if I had ever despised myself, if I'd ever felt no confidence in myself. And the easy answer to that is yes, absolutely. There have been plenty of times in my life where I felt really, really unconfident with my surroundings, with who I am. I've lacked confidence in my work. I've lacked confidence in approaching new people, meeting people. There are moments every day, probably, where I question myself and I question my abilities and I question whether I'm doing the right thing. And yeah, sometimes I do lack confidence. I certainly sometimes find it very difficult to just walk up and be confident and talk to people. Especially in nightclubs, if I see someone who I think is really cute or someone I'd like to get to know, I do have problems with confidence. But to me, confidence is like a muscle, and I'm still working on it myself, but I think that the more you work it out, the more you have a go, and the more you push yourself, the more confident you become. Particularly when it comes to meeting people and talking to strangers and things like that. Sometimes a little bit of Dutch courage, a bit of a beer or a drink in the hand helps, but confidence can be found in a lot of other ways as well. Especially when it comes to meeting people, I think sometimes I like to remind myself of successes that I've had. So if I see someone that I like, that I'm interested in talking to, but I'm feeling a little bit lacking in confidence about talking to them, I'll remind myself of, the fantastic people that I've met just by walking up and talking. I'll remind myself of the successes that I've had, the amazing guys that I've been able to speak to because I've just gone up and done it, and that gives me confidence. That helps to build my confidence because I think, hey, I've done it before, I can do it again. Lately for me, most of my confidence issues have been around my work, my photography work. I question a lot whether my work is good enough, whether I can compete with other professionals. And a lot of the time it comes from my, feelings that maybe my work is not being well received. But there are ways to build that confidence as well, and posting pictures online and all of that kind of stuff is part of that. Lots of people respond and give me positive feedback, and that helps to build my confidence. Having a lack of confidence is something that you can beat, It's something that you can exercise and work out like a muscle, and every time you work it out it gets stronger. The second part of the question was, have I ever despised myself? And you know what? Absolutely. There have been times where I have hated myself. I've hated my body, I've hated the way I look, I've hated my height, I've hated my skills in a certain thing, I've hated my abilities, I've hated things that I've done in the past, I've hated myself. And there is a video I posted on YouTube called Where I Come From, and I suggest that you watch that because that will tell you a lot about who I am and what it was like for me as I sort of grew and was discovering myself. And I'm still growing and discovering myself. There are times where I say, oh my God, Shannon, why did you do that? And I hate myself for doing that. Or I say, why didn't you try harder? Or why didn't you take advantage of those opportunities? And I do really, really get down on myself about it. But you know what? Everything that everything that's bad that you feel about yourself, again, you can fight that. It's a choice, feeling shitty about yourself. When you say, I'm so crap at this, that's a choice. You've made the choice to say that. You could choose to say, actually, I've done really well. You could choose to see the positive side of yourself. You could choose to see the great things about the way you look. You could choose to see the great things about, you know, what you've achieved. You could choose to see the great things about the people that are around you that you've attracted to yourself by being amazing. You can choose to see those things. That's what I believe. And so whenever I feel myself saying, you know, oh, you know, you're such an idiot, why did you do this? I, most of the time, can stop myself and I can say, hang on a second, you know, you're trying really hard, you've worked really hard on this, okay, things maybe haven't gone the way you wanted, but, or maybe you don't look the way you want, or maybe you haven't met the person you want, but there's no reason to hate yourself for that, you know? Love yourself. That's the key. If you want other people to love you, then you have to learn to love yourself and not despise yourself for who you are. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on this. Lots of people think different things, and lots of people have different strategies for how they have managed to stay positive. And you know, it's always worth talking to the people around you and, you know, being connected as well, because when you start to disconnect yourself from the world and then you start to pile all of your issues on top of yourself, things start to weigh you down, and it's very hard to find that support network again to bring you back up. So anyway, long story short, yes, I do lack confidence sometimes. Yes, I have despised myself in the past, but I think that there's a lot more reasons to be confident and a lot more reasons to love myself and appreciate who I am. And I look forward to the journey as well and exploring even more about myself. Anyway, that's it guys. Another bit of verbal blah, 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 for you to listen to. I'd love to know what your opinions are. How do you make yourselves feel more confident? How do you make yourselves feel more love for who you are? I'd love to hear about it. Leave a comment guys. Okay, bye.